Hello and welcome to the Aces Up Your Sleeve podcast, where we talk all things autism, asexuality, spectrum, queerness, ADHD, and more. I'm your co-host, Cade.
And I'm Sabrina.
And today we are talking about autism and gift exchanges. So as a disclaimer, this is not therapy or therapeutic advice. It's just what we might do if we were in your position and our thoughts on the situation.
Just in time for several gift-giving focused holidays.
Yeah, hopefully people are thinking about this and in the mood to hear about it, because I know we've got some questions on Reddit, some questions in general that we can cover, and I think hopefully it'll help people be or feel more prepared.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, if we want to jump right in, our first one is kind of a lengthy one from Reddit.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. You want to read it or you want me to?
I can read it. I say and immediately choke. Oh, wow. Yeah, she is a lengthy one. Okay. I definitely said, like in very true ADHD fashion, I said yes before looking or thinking or like engaging with the real question in any way. So, woohoo. Okay. With the holidays and my birthday coming up, I started to think about gifts again. I always stress about these days, and one of the biggest stressors are the gifts. I have been treated by my family my whole life that I'm not enthusiastic enough when I receive a gift. And over the years, I have learned to give an appropriate external reaction when someone gives me a gift. But the truth is, this only made me feel worse about it. Okay, masking. I'm a very sensitive person. I have many physical allergies and intolerances, not to mention the sensory sensitivities to smells, tastes, colors, etc. Usually on my birthday, people would give me shower/bath boxes, sweets/foods, flowers, perfumes, etc. The sad fact is that I can't use the items 9 out of 10 times due to my allergies and intolerances, not to mention my overly specific taste in things. I'll have to throw them away or regift them to someone else, which makes me feel like an asshole to the person that gave it to me. It just leaves me feeling like crap. Every time someone gives me a gift, instead of happiness, I feel anxiety. My first thought is, oh no, before they even hand it over. It gets so bad that it makes me not want to celebrate my birthday at all, besides the sensory overload and social anxiety that a party would give me. Do you experience the same? How do you deal with it? I would like to celebrate my birthday this year, but avoid this problem. I appreciate any help.
That's a tough one. With a lot of history, like it sounds like this is a yearly, if not multiple times a year, occasion where the gifts are getting received, and that like stress has built to a peak.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So, okay, before we start, do you feel the same way? Is where I want to is that how you feel when getting gifts?
I think in the past, yes, especially before I knew I was autistic. Sometimes, especially if it's like extended family or a friend that doesn't know me super well, someone that might be getting me like a box set gift or something kind of vague that like, yeah, it's appreciated, but it would feel hard to have a big excited response to a chocolate Santa, you know?
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
Um, not usually. I tend to be pretty okay with gifts. Part of it is that my family was always very materialistic, like not very caring, but like it would be like my grandma asked for a Christmas list in like October, and then they like really stick to the Christmas list. So like as long as I put things on the list that I actually wanted, that usually was what I got. Like my grandmother, so I have my grandma and my grandmother. My grandmother is my mom's stepmom. She would sometimes get super weird shit. Like when I was like really little, she got me like the book Little Women. And oh no, that was so she got me when I was really little like a whole tea set because she really wanted me to like be proper and weird. And then when I was like 16, she got me the book Little Women and some jewelry from Claire's. Like she just really sucked at it, but she was never there when I opened the gifts. And my whole family kind of was a little, oh, there goes grandmother, who we even just called by her first name. And so, like, yeah, I didn't ever really get stuff that I didn't love. And then I have such intense, like, passions that people tend to get me, like, my favorite color is purple. My favorite color is sparkles. Like, I like cats and hedgehogs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just like things in such a hard way that people tend to get me things that I enjoy. I like jellyfish. Like, when I went to Scotland this past summer, I like had all this traveling woe. It was like a huge nightmare. And I like get there. My friends have already said, like, hey, can we get you some chocolate shit? And like, so that when you get here, like, I was like, yes, perfect. Just, I trust you. Get me chocolate things. There was like a pano chocolat waiting for me and some hot chocolate and some water. And, like, my friend who was also the host of the event had gotten me some like jellyfish socks and a little jellyfish like coin purse. Like, I'm just easy to shop for because, well, by people who actually give a fuck, right? Because of that. So I tend to get things that I really like, and I don't feel bad about how I react to that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that, how do I avoid this dread rushing in? Like, a list is so helpful, especially if you can get folks to agree to, like, everybody kind of jot down a couple items and, like, everybody go based on the list. Especially if you have people who maybe don't know you as well as what Sabrina's describing, you know?
Yeah, I think that's maybe one part too, is like I don't engage with people on gift giving holidays that I don't know super well.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I've ever been given a gift by someone that wasn't like a pretty close friend of me, unless it was a like, we're all at this event and like this is the swag I made for the event.
Mhm.
Have a piece of swag. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, like that's not, you didn't make it for me. It's just a thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't tend to have like I'm very selective about who I spend my free time with.
Yeah, and, I wonder too if this question asker is maybe someone who's a little more flat like I tend to be, so even if I really love a gift, and I know other folks that are this way too, like, the first response is to furrow our brow and, like, read the back of the packaging and, like, get really interested in it instead of being like, "Oh my god, thank you so much." So I wonder if the expected response, which I will say is a little bit of entitlement on your family's side, if they're
Mhm.
expecting this big, like, gratuitous, like, "Thank you, this is the most amazing," over, like, a shower set.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that that's part of it for me is like even with like so I love giving gifts. It's like one of my favorite things ever. I have been like slowly collecting things to send to you for like months. I'm really really bad at mailing shit, which is a
Me
problem
too.
with how far away you live from me. But I'm such a like little like crow. Like I'm like, "Ooh, this and this." It's
Mhm.
actually one of the things that like when an old friendship of mine like broke off, it was one of the hardest parts because I would see stuff that I'd be like, "Oh my god, I want to get this for her as a gift," and like
Yeah.
I can't. Like we're not friends anymore. Um, and even with that being true, I really don't give a fuck how people respond to the gifts.
Yeah.
And so it leaves my brain like one of my really dear friends hates being given gifts for this reason. Like he's like, do not give me gifts in public. I don't like, I'm gonna be flat. It's awkward. I feel so much anxiety, all this stuff. And I completely forgot it. And then when I went to Greece with him, I like walked up to him in the middle of the courtyard where we're about to do like the whole introduction, everything. He's like sitting with people I don't know. And I like laid this book. It was a comedy book of suicide notes. So it's like Frosty the
Mm.
Snowman and like a toilet, which is
Okay.
the toilet suicide note is just I'm tired of this shit. It was really funny. And I knew he'd love it. But I like put it down in front of him and then remembered later that he hates getting gifts in public. And I was
Oops.
like, fuck, I just get so excited to give the gift. I don't really give a fuck how you respond to it. And so I think that a lot of people get really in their head about like, oh, this person's going to expect so much. And some people definitely do. But it always hurts me a little because I'm like, I don't give a fuck how you respond. I'm just excited to give it to you. I've been thinking about it like for months that I get to give you this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the thoughtfulness almost matters to me more than the gift. I
Mm-hmm.
know when my partner moved to so we could live together, He realized that I keep Christmas gifts year round. Like, I just have this little area where I just store trinkets, and then for Christmas, the most appropriate time to give them in my family,
Mhm.
here's what goes in your stocking, here's what you get for Christmas. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I think this
Yeah.
one's tough. It's like, how do you avoid the problem? Well, it's really not just a you problem. Your response is not the problem. The expectations on you is more of the challenge here.
Which I do think in that way, like, it's also important to double check that the expectation is accurate.
Yeah. Because they
Like,
might be teasing you because they just are like, it's something we can tease you about and we rib in this family and that's just how we are. Not so much, you've got to change this because, you know.
right. Or even like, okay, maybe your family is like this, but maybe other people, maybe your friends would not be. And so, like,
Yeah.
giving them or like doing gifting activities with them might feel okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so another accommodation too could be that you do have your party as you were hoping for, or maybe not. Based on this question, I can't quite tell how much of a party you would want. And then you let it be known that you will be opening the gifts later and you'll reach out to everybody to say thanks afterwards.
Yeah. I also am a big fan of like the gift that you can give me is to pitch in for whatever
Yeah.
funds are needed for the party. Here is my like pay link. And so it's like everyone gets to kind of like, hey, pitch in, throw 5, 10 bucks at the party. Now we've got 20 people all sending in 10 bucks. That's 200 bucks. We can have a nice, you know, food spread or event space or like whatever kind of like my friends would always throw these parties that like we need a portalet. It's like the house sewage system can't really handle how many people are going to be here, or we want to get fireworks for the 4th of July party, or like a cleaning service for after the party, whatever. And that way people still feel like they're giving and you don't end up with gifts. Like once people have given that you kind of say like I am not accepting other gifts.
Yeah.
Or any other gifts that come, like I will be ignoring until I am alone or something.
Yeah, and I've got a friend who one year asked for people, like, instead of gifts, to purchase a ticket to a concert that they were excited to attend, just so they could attend with them. So my friend
Mhm.
already had their ticket and she was like, "You guys get your tickets and come with me, and your gift will be your like presents and the money
Presents.
it took for the ticket." Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really hard because there's also just like whether you're teased or not, whether like it's kind ribbing or like whatever, like it doesn't feel good. And so it also sounds like there's maybe just a conversation to be had with your family about like, hey, I don't know that you know that this really hurts me and that this makes it really hard for me to feel engaged in the gift exchange. Um, my understanding of the reason that we gift exchange is to show like care and support, and it doesn't feel good when like you mock the way that I engage with that. Um, and in fact, has caused me a lot of anxiety. Um, if you have a
Yeah.
family who would listen to that, I think that like that kind of open honesty could be really important. Um,
Yeah, check in to see if you can collaborate on a different, routine for the gift giving or
mhm.
start a new tradition. I know this question was mostly in regards to birthday, but they mentioned holidays and like we're a family where we all sit around the tree and kind of go in a circle and open gifts so we can like appreciate what each other got for each other and like ooh and ah and whatever.
Mhm.
Uh, but that's too much for my stepson. Like when he started living here, it was like, okay, the anxiety of not knowing what's in all these packages and the waiting to actually engage with the gifts, even though we don't have like a rule that says you can't play with your stuff, it just felt like a little too much. So some years he just hops out early and goes and we let him do all his gifts in one go, and then he goes and does his own thing. And I wonder if there's some other ways to accommodate and collaborate with your family on how the gift giving goes.
Yeah, that was what we did. I'm 10 years older than my siblings. And so my family tradition was the adults opened presents Christmas Eve after the kids
Ooh,
went to bed. And then
okay.
um the adults helped Santa set up the Santa gifts um the night before, and then Christmas Day was just for the little kids. And I remember like making that transition too, like when it was like I was like 12 or maybe 13, and
Cool.
like, so I'm still a little kid, so, like, I was still kind of opening, and they were, like, really, really little and didn't really remember, but, like, once it was kind of like, "Oh, like, they're 3, 4," they're starting to notice, "Okay, I'm gonna go and open presents with the adults on Christmas Eve," and that way, like, it feels a little bit more, and then once the twins got older, we would do, like, so we separate all the piles of gifts out, and then we
Mhm.
open one in order. So one for you, 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 like
Yep.
over and over and over,
Yep.
which also felt
Same.
kind of weird because, like, they were much younger than I was. And so they always had more stuff because I would have more expensive stuff. Like,
Yeah.
hey, here's an Xbox Connect, you know, 16-year-old, 17-year-old, probably 20-year-old. Yeah. 18, 20-year-old, whatever. Right. And then here is, 3 individual little toys, 10-year-old kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that there's definitely ways to be more flexible and, like, maybe it's, "Hey, I want to be here and, like, while you all open gifts from me and, like, from each other, like, I wanna be part of that, but instead of opening my gifts, I'd like to just be skipped, and then I will take my gifts elsewhere and open
Yeah.
them." Um, and then maybe, like, committing to writing a thank you or something like that that feels a little bit more like still acknowledging it, for them, but, like, with less of a pressure on you.
Yeah, that sounds like a great accommodation.
Yeah.
And that's so funny you mentioned, like, the older sibling having less gifts because that is definitely true. My younger sister is, like, 6.5-ish years younger, and she always, now that she's an adult, is like, "Oh, you don't have as many gifts as the rest of us," and it's like, that's part of my role is to make sure you all have some gifts, you know? And
Yeah.
at a
Well,
certain
and
point too, yeah,
right,
it's
like, it
like,
doesn't stop because, like, I have more money than you do, like, you're in
yeah,
college, I'm, like, in the,
a
like, 4th
career.
year of my career, that's fine.
Yeah. And I think in some ways it's nice to give back to, like, my parents and stuff where it's like, "No, you don't have to worry so much about making sure everyone has the gifts."
Yep. And I'll also say, like, as the person who likes to give the gift and who sometimes forgets, I did also, like, when I just recently saw that same friend, I had another gift for them, um, and it was a candle that said, "I fucking hate people." So good, I love it. Um, but I gave it to them, like, in a bag and was just I, like, put it in front of them and then was like, "No expectation that you open it here." Like, I also just, like, sometimes need reminders, and so I think that, like, that's the good faith, like, neutral to positive intent assumption is, like, your family might just need reminders. "Hey, I have a hard time opening gifts, like, in front of people, but, like, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I will be opening it later." You know?
Yeah. As you said that, I was also reminded that a lot of the gifts I don't know at what point, what age we started doing this, but at a certain point, my sister and I just decided to be equally as excited about every gift. So it did not
Mhm.
matter if it cost $50 or was a pack of underwear. It was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe we just got this." And, like, that caught on in the family, so now everyone kinda does it, but if there's no good tradition on that and you're like, "I already feel weird masking the excitement," and they still want me to be excited, maybe it's just leaning into the bit.
Yeah, like, can you kind of jokify it almost?
Yeah. Like, "Oh my gosh, a box? You guys got me a box this year? That is so cool. What, there's more in the box?"
Yeah. See, and this is where, like, yeah, like, I am just much more naturally, like, big emotionally, and so, like, I am super excited. I always need new underwear. Like, let's go. Fuck it. Are they
Mhm.
cute? Oh my god. They've got jellyfish on them? Fuck yes. Like, I'm hype. And so, like, I think that I have always a little bit reacted to gifts like that. Of, like, again, like, my grandmother would sometimes get me weird shit, but she wasn't there. So I'm like, okay. But other than that, like, I tend to feel very moved by how thoughtful my
Yeah.
friends are, and excited to, like, do the new exciting thing that's in my house. Like, someone went shopping and I didn't even have to spend money and now I have new things is always exciting to my ADHD brain. And then I am just, like, quite a big emoter, but I also think that, like, that's the thing is that, like, just because I'm a big emoter doesn't mean that anyone else has to be. And so it's just about, can you have the conversations with your family of, like, "Hey, this is just not a realistic way to expect me. You see me 364 other days of the year, and you like that's not what you expect of me. Why do you expect it of me now?
Yeah. Yeah, setting some realistic expectations, especially if it is someone who's around you very frequently.
Mhm. Exactly.
Before we jump into the next question, I would love someone to do a little study on the gift giving and opening style that you described, because it's what we do
Mm.
too, where you go around one gift at a time. And I just wonder, is that like more prominent in autistic families or is it equal?
Oh, I don't know. Like, what's hard for me is that, like, it was me and my mom until I was, like, 7 or 8, and then it was, like, me and my mom and my stepmom, and shortly after that, the twins came, and I don't remember a lot of, like, those in between years, and so, I don't know if we did it, like, before, but I know that especially like, once the twins were old enough, we would just and that way it was like, okay, everybody all attention on one person, and it
Yeah,
wasn't just, like, everybody at once trying to
chaos.
chaotically do it.
But I bet there are some, I mean, I know there are some families where they don't find that chaos, they find that comfy, cozy fun.
Yeah. That which is
But
fair. Like, I don't think that I would find it, like, negative chaos. I think it would be, like I think it's hard for me to think of a kid having to share that spotlight, in
mm,
that way, but I think that it's easier to learn how to share the spotlight in a turn-taking manner because that's already what you're learning to do in, like, school and, like,
yeah,
daycare
fair.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Developmentally, it feels like it makes more sense to my brain, but that's not based on anything. Like you said, we don't have a study, but it'd be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, because there is something to be said for that sorting period right before like, that is kind of enjoyable. It's,
Yeah.
satisfying, yeah.
I do know families who do, like, all like, your wrapping paper is this wrapping
Uh-huh.
paper, and your which does to me feel a little bit worse because like, now I don't get to sort it in a fun way.
Yeah.
Like oh, and then did your family also do the, like, don't open that one until after you open that one?
Yeah, sometimes we'll write number 1, number 2 on, especially if it's, like, number 1 is the gift and number 2 is the batteries for the gift, like,
Right,
these
right,
go
right. It's
together,
like,
yeah.
"Here's the Xbox, here's 3 games for the Xbox. Don't open your Xbox games yet, friend.
Yeah, yeah, because you open the Xbox game, you're like, "Well, thank you, I guess,
Don't
but
have an
I guess
Xbox?" Right.
I'll have to go to a friend's to play this."
I also, like again, my ADHD worked really well. My family would just directly we'd be, like, shopping, and I'd be like, "I want that for Christmas." My mom would go in and buy it, and then I'd forget, but, like, literally, there was one year that, like, I had, like, asked for this specific mascara, and it was, like, in my stocking. I was like, "Oh my god, how did you know I wanted this?" And she was like, "You literally handed it to me 3 days ago in CVS. What do you mean?" And I was like,
I
"Oh,
love it.
man, I don't remember that at all." So, like, sometimes my memory issues would also help a lot. But again, it just meant that, like, I was getting specific things I wanted, and it sounds like I mean, your family's gotta know you have allergens, which is wild to me that they're getting you this shit. But, like,
Yeah,
I do think that maybe just having, like, a very specific list and, like, anything that comes that's not on this list, I am going to have a hard time. Like, it will not be used by me, and I will regift it immediately. Like,
yeah,
that's the expectation. Set that expectation there.
yeah, it might stop them from purchasing some of those items and think a little more about, well, what would you actually use or enjoy?
Exactly. Like, I've got
Yeah,
friends who are really hard to shop for because they just don't have the, like, same type of, like, "Oh, this is your color, and this is your animal, and this is your texture,"
yeah,
um, like I do, and even, like, my partner is great about it too, like, they have a color, it's blue,
mhm,
they have an animal, it's turtles, they have, like, food preferences, it's caramel and Oreos, like, it's really easy to, like, get their stuff, um, but, like, our friends who are not like that, like, even then, I will ask directly what they want, but also, like, there's still going to be, like maybe those are friends that I get experiences for. Maybe those are
yeah,
friends that and so maybe it's, like, also expanding what you think of as a gift. Like, can I get you, you know, a day out to this park
mhm.
or a crafting day, or can I make you something? Like, those types of things.
Yeah, absolutely, or can I watch your kids so you can go do something fun? Like, here's a coupon
Literally.
for that, yeah. Well, the stuff you're bringing up really leads nicely into the next question we got, which is, how do you figure out what to buy other people for gifts, especially if they don't make a list?
Mm.
So
Mm.
I think some of it is how well do you know the person, because you
Mhm.
might be able to pick an experience or even a gift card of like, I know that they purchase iPhone things, like let me get them a certain gift card, or I know that they use DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever, like I'll get them a gift card for that if you want to get them a gift and you're not sure what to do.
Yeah. I'm a pretty big fan of a handmade, like, even
Yeah.
just a card. Like, I'm a pretty crafty bitch, and so, like, I'll just hand make, like, that's one of the things I most look forward to during this time of year is, like, card making.
Yeah.
And so often people will like, "Yeah, your whole present for me is a card," or, like, a card and an ornament that I, like, made or, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it might not be the most useful. It might not be, whatever, but it's even my friends who like don't do trees or like aren't like celebrating Christmas specifically. It's like, okay, here's just like a pretty shiny thing. Go decorate your house with it. I don't give a fuck. Like, you don't have to like it. More so, it's just like I spent time and effort thinking and caring about you.
Yeah.
And so that is often what I'll go to for my like harder to shop for friends. If
Yeah,
an
absolutely.
experience is like out of the realm.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, something handmade. Ornaments are great, cards are great. I don't know how crafty our listeners are, but I'm sure that, like, if you wanna make a little jingle for something they do and you record some
Yeah,
music, like, you could get really creative with it depending on what that person's hobbies and interests are.
exactly. I also think that like hand make something poorly. Make a
Yeah,
card that looks ugly. Like, there's not actually anything wrong with that. Like, you still put time and effort
mhm.
into it.
Yeah,
If you hate doing crafty things, maybe don't. But like, that's a little bit the nice
yeah.
part about crafts. You don't have to be good at it.
Now, if this is somebody that you do spend more time with, maybe kind of playing off of what Sabrina said about the, like, makeup at CVS, if you spend a lot of time with that person, notice what they're picking up and being like, "Oh, I wish I had this, but I can't it's not in the budget right now," or, "Oh, maybe I'll get it next time." Or if you have access to, like, their like, a wish list on Amazon, Steam, a bookstore, wherever, like, what's on that wish list? Pretty safe bet that they will enjoy it if you purchase it for them.
Yep. Yeah. I'll often like if I'm in someone's house, like I'll just go look at their bookshelf and see like, oh, are there books in this series that they don't have yet? Or are there like other books by this author that they might enjoy? Books are a little hard because like you never know. But like um yeah, I think there's a lot of like uh interesting ways to kind of just peek around at like what someone's into. Um I used to be a really big like get the music. So back
Mm,
when CDs
mhm.
were a thing, um
Yeah,
I was big on a CD moment. Um yeah, I think that there's a lot of cool stuff like that that you can kind of like, oh, okay, every time we're in the car we listen to this song. Like, why
yeah.
don't I buy you the album for that thing? And physical media is coming back in, as streaming services cut our rights to owning things. Um,
Yeah, and as they support horrible genocides.
as they support horrible genocides,
Mhm.
indeed. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
a good mix CD, absolutely, that's
God.
we're gonna talk Secret Santa more on the bonus content, but one year I got someone for Secret Santa who had said, like, growing up, people saw me as, like, the cat person, so I always got cat stuff, and I do love cats, but please don't get me a thing with a cat on it. Well, her other big interest was, Christmas, and I knew, like, she has plenty of ornaments, plenty of decor, plenty of everything, so I burned a Christmas CD for her with, like, lesser
Nice.
known yeah, some of the songs that, like, you don't really think of when you think Christmas or covers by bands she may not have heard yet.
Mm,
So
I
kinda
see
jumping
you.
off yeah, kinda jumping off of the person's interest if you're not totally sure what to get them, because hopefully they'll still appreciate the thought even if the project doesn't quite land with them.
Yeah. Kind of like what happened in the last one. I never get people food if I don't know them. Because I don't know taste preferences. Like I hate white chocolate. Um, I can't stand it.
Oh.
And it's really popular. I hate mint. I actually like smelling mint makes me a little nauseous.
Oh,
And so like this time of year is a really dangerous time where people like get you like really nice little chocolates and they're like white chocolate and mint and I'm like this is maybe the worst thing that anyone could have ever given me. Um and
yeah,
so
Like peppermint bark is the bane of your existence this time of the year. Okay.
Oh,
Whereas I would love, like, yeah, absolutely, outside of allergens.
yeah, outside of allergens, exactly. But yeah, exactly. And like, this is a time of year, like, fucking nuts are in everything, and my partner's allergic, and like,
Oh,
so I find food to be a really dangerous game unless you know a person really, really well.
yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I stick a lot more. I like to try to go with like things that might be useful,
Mm,
um, as much as I can. So like, I have been making for the last year, for my uncle, which I've not actually worked on it since last year, and have no closer to having it done for Christmas this year. But I was making him a hat holder because he wears like baseball hats everywhere all the time.
yeah.
And so like something where he could display them and like have it. Um, I made just like kind of hats for all of my siblings and cousins last year. Um, just because they were easy and fast, but like again, something that like my sister's in Ohio, my brother's in Atlanta, my cousins in Wisconsin, my other cousins in Japan, so less useful there. But when he's back in Wisconsin, like a little beanie is just not unuseful. So I tend to try to go like useful if I can. I'm a big fan of like, here's a water bottle with things you like on it. Here are
Yeah.
stickers. Here's a fidget. Here's that kind of stuff. Or things that are like their favorite XYZ, favorite color,
Yeah.
favorite animal, favorite shape. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, for extended family, because we have quite a bunch of folks, we usually go for some sort of their favorite or close to their favorite candies in some fancy little jar or bottles that could be reusable just because it's safer.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
again, food can be tough, so if you don't know what they like, it's kind of hard to risk that.
Yeah. I also have you ever worked at a place where they had you make a favorites list so that they could like get you stuff
Yeah,
for holidays and your birthday and stuff? Like I am never above sending one of those to friends. Like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
fill out like it's not a specific list of what you want, but like what's your favorite candy? What's your favorite music? What's your favorite color? What's your shoe size? What's your, like it really is a cliche, but as an adult, socks are never a bad gift. Like,
mm,
um, I do think that like clothes can be a bit of a tricky thing because like
yeah.
skinny
It's
people have no fucking idea what size fat people are, and fat people have no fucking idea what size skinny people are. Like, I will see skinny people clothes. I'm like, that could be for a child or a full grown like size medium person, and I would not be able to tell you the difference because I've never been a size medium person.
yeah.
I've been a child, but I was a fat child. I don't have anything for you here. Um,
Well, and we all carry our weight differently, so a size this in this brand is not gonna equate to the same in a different brand, and you might assume someone is a certain size based on what you're guessing their weight is, but if they don't carry their weight in that way, then you've still got the wrong size. Clothes is hard. Even socks can be hard if you've got someone with, like, big calves.
hmm exactly. Yeah. So I do think that like, spare a moment of like mindfulness there. But also kind of like you were talking about earlier, like I do think it's totally fine to do here is a gift card. Um, though my partner and I talk about this sometimes, like be really mindful about where you're getting your gift card and how much you're putting on it. Because like a $25 gift card to Torrid is nothing. Torrid doesn't
Yeah.
sell things that are under 25. Like
Like, that'll
maybe a
get you a
pair of
belt.
earrings.
Yeah.
Right. Like and so like, if you're going to like gift cards can end up being way more expensive than just buying like a specific gift for a person. Um but yeah, like doing some kind of a here's a gift card to your favorite restaurant with enough to actually feed you another person.
Yeah.
So that these days is going to be somewhere around $100 or more, right? But like if you're going to do a gift card, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I do think that you want to make sure it's for enough to actually end up like paying
Yeah.
totally for something.
Absolutely. Yeah. Otherwise, going in with people on the gift card can be helpful too. Like you and your partner or you and your best friend have this other friend and you want to like all pitch in. That can be a way to up that amount too.
Exactly. I also think again, like tickets to events can be really fun. That you think that the person might enjoy. Just make sure that they're open the day of the event. They're free. Um, I really enjoy doing like hey, let's come to my house, and then like my present to you is I'm going to cook, or I'm going to order food in, and we're going to watch your favorite movie, and we're going to like do all the stuff that you enjoy. So it's like a day in, but it's really focused on them. And sometimes that can feel really nice. I think also like, what is the holiday that you're doing, right? So you know, doing things that are really focused on if it's Christmas, like let's go and look at lights. Or if it's a birthday, like let's do like really birthday focused things. A cake is a great birthday present if you know the person well enough to get something that is allergen friendly, things like that.
Or an offer to drive them around and collect some of their birthday freebies for a couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that one.
Some quality
Although,
time.
apparently Starbucks doesn't use dish soap anymore. Um, so they've been instructed to rinse out their like thing and then put it in the sanitizer, but like not soap. So that
Okay.
yeah, so it doesn't like get the oils and things. So we can't go anymore because my partner has a really, really bad nut allergy and could die.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah. So not there. Um, but
Yeah, there's
you
maybe
know,
some local places with some birthday things you can sign up for or something. Oh my
exactly,
gosh.
exactly. Yeah. I'm a
Um,
big fan of like a themed gift. You know,
yeah.
I got you these weird eggs for Easter.
Yeah, something relative to the holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, I think we're gonna head over to our Patreon bonus content, and we're gonna focus a little more on gift exchanges, especially like the Secret Santa, White Elephant, either large friend group or corporate, what do we do type of things, and talk about some of the gifts we've enjoyed over the course of our lives. And yeah, you all can expect new episodes weekly on Tuesdays. You can find me over at cryptidlearns.com or cryptidlearns on social media, or Sabrina over at Radical Insights Consulting on Facebook or Instagram, or radicalinsightsconsulting.com. And if you have any questions for us, you can send those our way over at neurokink.org/AUYS. And there's a form there. You can type in that it's anonymous, however you want to ask it. And yeah, we're going to jump over to our Patreon to record Upping the Ante, which is that exclusive free bonus content. We'll see you over at patreon.com/Aces Up Your Sleeve podcast.